Trading involves risk of loss and may not be suitable for you. Past performance is no guarantee or reliable indication of future results. All advice and education content is general in nature.
Good morning, traders and investors. It is Thursday, the 20th of September, and we've seen some mixed market activity overnight with some positivity in Europe and a little bit of hesitation in the US ahead of housing data. The FTSE 100 was up 20 points, or 0.3%, closing at 5,888. You see a strong short-term bullish reversal there, a continuation of the overall upwards trend, and an attempt to push back above 5,900, which appears to be just holding as a little bit of a short-term resistance there. One would expect a continuation of the buyer activity at the moment, because that selling activity just over the last few sessions was quite weak. The German DAX gained 43 points, or 0.6%, closing at 7,390. It too is holding up towards its long-term highs there. Whilst the CAC 40 closed 19 points up, or 0.5%, and closing at 3,531. It had been much higher during the session. It had come down through to the middle of the day and found some renewed buyer activity towards the end of the day. Over in the US, we had the Dow Jones up 13 points, or 0.1%, so virtually unchanged. It was showing a bit of uncertainty early in the session. Found some buyer activity through the middle of the day, and that's where it held for the remainder of the session. A little bit of a sell-off into the closing bell, which has caused the candle to form a small-bodied doji type candle, and still showing some hesitation at the top of this market. A little bit of hesitation there, a little bit of uncertainty from the markets itself. The Nasdaq gained 4 points, also 0.1% higher, closing at 3,182. Very similar story. While the S&P 500 was up only 1.7 of a point, closing at 1,461. The VIX index was down slightly. It lost 30 cents, or fell 2%, closing at $13.88. It is holding those long-term lows. The uncertainty in the markets is resulting in a little bit of stability there in the volatility index, not showing any real fear from investors at this point in time. So again, without any strong selling pressure, the VIX is holding down towards its lows. No indication there that the markets are concerned at the moment. On the ASX 200, we saw a somewhat of a surprising upwards day, a gain of 21 points, closing at 4,415, pushing into new long-term highs there, levels we haven't seen since early May. And before the market opened yesterday, we had been looking at a slightly lower open, but it seems that renewed buyer activity has pushed this a little bit higher. SPI futures are showing a slightly downward start to the day, down 4 points ahead of the opening bell. And that might just be a case of the ASX 200 being a little bit more overbought compared to the US market. So without a strong push in the US to help confirm our drive yesterday, we might see a little bit of profit taking early on in the session. But there isn't any real strong conviction in the markets for directional activity. We're just slowly wavering upwards at the moment, and without any signs of sellers coming in, we could expect that slow upwards drive continues to influence the markets for the short term. That's our update for Thursday, the 20th of September. Look forward to giving you an update again tomorrow.